Hello again. It's been 2 years, since 2 years and maybe 2 months since the last time I did something in YouTube or tried to record a podcast again. So yeah, I am back. This is the third time. They said third time is the charm, and in Spanish they said la tercera es la vencida. So let's try this again, and this is going to be my first episode of the third try. And so thank you for joining if you are still here. And I've seen some people still subscribing to the channel, even though I just had, I think, 3 episodes and some recordings of some travels I did. And that's why I said, why don't start recording again? Since I've seen a little bit of movement there. So as you notice, now I changed the name for the third time again, and I decided to use Isalloni. It's going to be the Isalloni podcast because I think it's easier, and it represents, as I explained in my first of the second try episode, that Isalloni is the one with the shawl or with the claw. Well, this is the Isalloni podcast. So I will be talking about my knitting mostly, some spinning, yarn dyeing, and all the crafts that I've been doing, I will be doing in the future. I have done so many things since the last time I posted something, and I wanted to share that with you. Also, what I would like to make. I will not talk about plants, because the last time I talked about plants, the plants didn't happen, And I think plants are sometimes, it's great to have plants, but sometimes plants doesn't go as you would like to, right? And then, okay, I need to say, who am I, right? I'm just recording as I've been always here, and you know who I am. So my name is Claudia Gabriela. I am a knitter, and this podcast will be about that. And I live in Switzerland. I used to live in Schaffhausen, which is in the north of Zurich. Now I live near the Zurich city, in a town that's called Talwil, near the Zurich lake. We've been living here since June last year. It was a change for us. I will tell you about what happened later. Then you can find me, it's a typical what we have to do. You can find me in Instagram as a Gabriela Cos, in Ravelry as a Gabriela Cos, and here in YouTube is Isalloni or Gabriela Cos. You will find me anyway. So thank you for the returning viewers that have been following me since the first time I tried doing this. And if you're new, thank you for stopping by. So, what has been going on? And a quick summary of what happened. I mean, last time I talked, I mentioned that I finished a job that I didn't like. I wanted to change. I wanted to do something else, and I wanted to give it a try to Isalloni, my yarn and my needs. As I said, plants are sometimes plants, and life gets on the way, and I had to go back to work full time. So since then, luckily, I found a really nice place and really nice job that I love. I'm happy there, which of course, given the time, it's a full-time job, and I was commuting. That's why I moved as well. I had a 3 hours commute from home until work, so life got complicated. Too busy to dedicate things to podcasting, too busy to fully time work on Isalloni. So after that was in 2018 when I wanted to do this full time. Then I found a job at the end of 2019, and I've been working since then. I also been participating in 2019 in the Swiss Yarn Festival that happened in Zurich. Last year I was supposed to be there but because of the situation we have here now, we are all facing, I just decided not to go because I am a person at risk, so I need to really be careful with this virus, right? And then, well, I kept knitting. That's something that I think I will never be able to let go. I mean, that's me, right? I love knitting. I love fiber. I love everything crafting, but mostly knitting. So I've been knitting. I haven't been very present in Instagram as well because, again, I've been busy. And I mean, I post sometimes what I'm working, what I finish, or lately I've been posting stories about the place I live because the views that I have, we are lucky to live in a fantastic place, and that is helping us to cope with the lockdowns or semi-lockdowns that we live in Switzerland, or just, we luckily, I'm happy to say that I live with my husband Adrian and my cat Max, and we are happy here, so we are blessed. So that was in a summary what has been going on. That's another reason that I wanted to podcast again. I started watching more podcasts. I found new ones that I really enjoy, and since this isolation, because of the current situation, I felt that I am missing friends, I'm missing connection. That's why I wanted to give it also a try to podcasting. I know that whenever I watch podcasts, it keeps me company. I can knit, and I can feel that I'm talking to someone or listening to someone while I'm drinking my tea, right? So talking about tea, I have here my tea because I will be talking like a parrot, and I sometimes need to sip something. So that's what has been going on, and now I would like to show you what I've been knitting. I will show you a lot of socks. That's something that I really enjoy, mostly vanilla socks, because they are easy. While I'm watching TV, I just knit, and I discovered those Chagu needles, the mini, the short ones. I don't have them with me, but they are easy when you are making plain vanilla socks. They just knit, and they fly. So I will be showing you a lot of socks. I will be showing you 2 shawls that I brought. That's not everything that I need. I need a lot. I made a lot of pullovers, shawls, socks, hats, a few mittens, and I mean, it's winter. Whenever we go grocery shopping, I cover with my woolies, and it's perfect. But I don't wear them very often, or as much as I would like to, because we are most of the time inside, and it's hot in here. So let's start with my socks. I have plenty of socks here, as you can see. And if I watch a little bit here, it's because I'm watching the camera and now it's my iPhone to see that I am showing things properly. Okay, I have my socks, I have some garments here, and then my shawls and my working projects and what I would like to make in the future. So let's start with the latest socks one of the latest socks that I finished are these ones. These are very big house socks. These are the tulip socks by Melody Hoffman, Mandarins, and I helped testing this pair of socks, and I use this yarn is very rustic. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's rustic and has a halo. It feels like the Icelandic wool, and this one I hand spun. So this is one of the bases that I wanted to bring to my Isalloni yarn, and it is 100% Walliser black nose ship. I will put a picture of the ship. I don't know if everybody knows what are those ships, but these are for me, the cutest and sweetest sheep of all around the world. So they are a breed from native from Switzerland, from the Canton Walliser or Valais, and they live up in the mountains when it's summer, and they go down, and they are very cute. They have this black nose, and they look like puppies, like dogs. So I hand spun, and I made these ones out of the socks. They're a bit big. I was thinking of probably felting so they can shrink and I can wear it. I put them when I'm on the sofa. I don't walk with them because I need to put some rubber or things so I don't want to fall. That's another one that is also hand spun with the Walliser Schwarzernase, that's the German name, and this is the Lumi socks by Fiber Trails. The socks, they have kind of a tassels here, some cords, but I didn't add it, and they are very cute and yeah, nice and warm. The other socks that I finished I have a lot of socks. These ones are the Into the Woods socks by Melody Hoffman. And if you can see here this pattern, I don't know if I'm showing you properly. It's really nice. It's like I don't know, leaves, branch. I don't know how to describe, but it reminds the woods, the branches. And this is in 100% Corriedale yarn, which is also my yarn, and the colorway is Anastasia's socks. I really like this, and it's a superwash, also very soft and comfy. I wear them like to be on the sofa. I love them. More socks. Here are just plain vanilla socks. That's what I was saying. These ones are the ones that I don't have to test anything, and I want to just knit and watch TV. So simple. These ones are the colorway. It is also Isalloni, and the colorway is Decisions, and it's a base with nylon. It's 75% merino, 25% nylon. I think it's the only one that I have nylon for in the socks. And what else? Another Melody Hoffman. This was also a test knit, and this one is in the colorway Glühwein, the first batch that I made like 2 years ago that I dyed, and it's mixed with silky mohair. And if you can see, this one is, let me check my notes. There's the Simple Sock Collective. I think this was the Simple Sock one. She came with, she brought like 2 years ago these socks, these designs. There were 3 of them, and this was the first, and I helped testing. It's really nice, and I love these parts. The heels are very nice construction. So also to put inside. Then these ones, these socks I started, I think, like 3 or 4 years ago or so, and I finished last year, of course, with the lockdowns and staying at home, working from home. I started finishing most of my projects. So this one, there's no pattern. I just picked a pattern from one of my books. My books, I have a shelf here, that's why I'm looking at that. So it is an old base that I had with the first yarns that I dyed and I started selling. This is 100% BFL, and yeah, the pattern is a simple twist stitch with some pearls, and it goes it's like this. And I used the contrasting color leftovers that I had. I made a shawl with this yarn, and I had the leftovers, and I used them. I thought they are really cool, and yeah, I'm happy with them as well. And the last one that I have 2 more pairs. So this one, it's also vanilla but I made it, well, I needed this side because purling, you know, I don't mind purling, but I rather making the stockinette stitch, of course, in the round. So I knit it like this, and then I turn it out. So you can wear it if you want this way, like in the stockinettes, and then you will have the toe in reverse stockinette, and then your heels in stockinette, or you just, it's meant to be this way, reverse stockinette. So this colorway, it was one of the ones I dyed when I launched Isalloni, and this was the Remember Me colorway, because I brought it this in Halloween at that time, or Dia de los Santos, or Todos los Muertos. That's something that we celebrate in Bolivia, and yeah, really nice and very long. And the last one that I finished for Christmas the last year, this is the other socks that I made, just plain vanilla socks with a base that has stellina. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. I don't know if you can see. But with contrasting heels and toes. This color is also the second batch of Glühwein, but what's the difference between this one is because this has yak and it's a gray natural base. That's why the difference on the colors. So those were my socks. Then, as you can see, a lot of socks, but there are other knitters that need more socks than me and my pace, but that's, for me, it's enough. Then enough to put into a drawer, like a very nice drawer, and to display them. Then I need to sip something. Then I made this. I test knit this for Melanie Berg. She called for a test knitting. I never knit something from her, so it was a very nice, and I was happy to be selected to test. And this shawl is the calligraphy shawl. I'm not sure if it's the calligraphy shawl. Yes, I think it is. I will put in the show notes the shawl. And this one, it's quite long, and yeah, so I need this. You can wear it like this. I have a picture in Instagram when I was wearing, and I was having that was, I think, the last time I had a social interaction with my knitter friends in Zurich. We went to a cafe in downtown Zurich to knit. We used to get together every Sunday, once a month, but since Corona we couldn't meet, so that was the last time. And yeah, it's a very nice structure pattern, simple, but I like the these details with the tassels. And this yarn, it's also the yarn that I dyed, and this one is dyed with walnut husks. So I have a friend, that when I was living in Schaffhausen, she lives in Teigen, and she had walnut trees, and she was gathering all the husk for me to dye it, so I dye it with it. Nice, super natural, nice. And the yarn is Merino d'Arles. It is a French merino breed, so it is very soft. It doesn't have a lot of shine, and I think it is, I noticed when I dye with natural dyes, I don't know if it's the alum or the process of dyeing with natural dyes, that somehow the I don't know, it gets a bit kind of how could I say, it doesn't have this shine on the yarn, or probably there's something that I'm not doing properly, but it's so soft. Yeah, so I will keep it here that you can wear it like that. Yeah, this. And another shawl that I wanted to show you, and this was also a test knit from Melody Hoffman, and this shawl is called, let me just grab, Ewin shawl. This is huge. I don't know if you can see. It's a huge shawl, and it's a natural 100% Bolivian sheep. It's super soft, super sheepy, and I really like. I got this yarn in one of my trips to that I went back to Bolivia to visit my mom, and yeah, I finished while I was there, I think. And this one, it is a kind of a mauve color. It was a leftovers of my Locklets yarn that I will show you the shawl that I knit with it. So I used that. I think it was very simple and delicate shawl. Sorry about that. I had to just mute all the notifications that I was receiving, some messages. So now I can take this off. And where I was showing you the Evin shawl by Melody Hoffman. And yeah, it was a very nice and rewarding. It's very comfy, and when it's too cold, it just hugs me and protects me from the wind. So next, and the last two things that I will show you that I finished, or that not all of what I finished, but what I can show you now. It is, I was mentioning the sweater, a pullover that I tested for Melody again, and this is the Astra. This is the Astra pullover that I made, and the leftovers that I used for the shawl is this yarn, which is the Locklets, and it's a base with Masham and BFL, and this is very nice and light. I mean, it was meant to be for me, but I think I put a lot of weight. And then this one, I think it's going to fit my sister. That's why I think I took pictures on Instagram that I posted, and then I am just waiting to see my sister so I can offer it to her. So the anecdote of this pullover. We moved, I mentioned that we moved in January, and after winter, all my woolies, some of my woolies I put in a bucket of plastic. So I protected with lavender, cedar, all protections you can have against moths. But there were some hats or coals that I didn't wash it, and the place that I was living before in Shawls, they had carpets, and those carpets were attracting moths like crazy. And then I might have, one of those moths might have put some eggs in one of the woolies. Well, the first time that the cold came here, and I went to find the bucket of woolies, and to my horror, there were a lot of larvae of these moths. And one of the projects that was definitely eaten and attacked, because this is 100% natural, non-superwash, nothing, pure wool, it was this pullover. And I posted a picture. I think I will put a picture of how the state of this pullover was. So the good thing is that the moths and these larvae didn't eat the middle of the project, but the sleeves, the cuffs, the ribbon, and of both. So luckily I had leftovers for my shawl, and I still had leftovers. So I had to just cut them, the part that were eaten, and then start knitting again. So that's why you can see this, that I didn't weave the end. So this happened recently, so I need to weave the ends, and then I will put again. Of course I clean. I have so many projects that were affected that I am slowly amending them. And luckily it was just this bucket. Here we don't have, in this new apartment, we don't have carpets, and I don't want to buy carpets because of this. I don't want to have moths. Luckily, this is a moth-free environment. So that is the Austra, sorry. Is it Austra? Is it Astra? It's Austra pullover. So yeah, I'm watching my notes here. Lovely pullover, and this one is a cardigan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well. It's Istabaya, and this cardigan is by Yona, I think it is her name. She's the editor of the Lane magazine. I don't know if it's pronounced Lane. I would say Lane because it's kind of French, but most of the people, they pronounce Line. I don't know, but I will show you. I have the magazine here. So I made this Istabaya. It's super comfy and so warm. I used silk mohair and a natural color, and I use this is what is the, oh my goodness, what did I use? It's a naturally dyed with the husks, but the difference, it's lighter because the blend of this is Wensleydale. Do you pronounce it like that? And it's 100% Wensleydale, and it's very lustrous. That's why, besides of the silk, the yarn is very lustrous. So it is very. I didn't put some buttons that the cardigan was calling it for, but I don't. I think it is good as it is, and I love it. I think I made the sleeves a bit too long, but I like wearing the sleeves like that. So that is how you can see. As you can see, I have a proper microphone here now. I'm using my husband's equipment. I will tell you later. I can tell you in another time. So this is the Stavaya. Super cool. And if you can see, I think I made it, the sleeves a bit long, but I like when it's cold, and I like being like this and having my sleeves there. Or when I with a jacket, I just put the sleeves, I fold them like this. It's not an issue, not a problem. Super warm, soft, and yeah, that would be, I can stay with this. So yeah, that's what I've been what I finished that I wanted to show you today. Now let's go first for a sip. Now, things that I'm currently working is surprisingly, but I only have 3 projects, and the one that I've been working the most, or like crazy, every night or every morning before starting my day job, I work from home. I've been working from home since March last year. So my commuting time, it was so funny because we moved from Schaffhausen because of my commuting. I had 3 hours a day to commute, so I was mostly knitting on the train. We moved, and when we found this apartment, because the commute was too long, we were as a side note, in 2019, the Christmas of 2019, we went to Madrid because my brother lives there. And on the way back, we were so sick for New Year's. And I don't know if we got this virus at that time, but at that time, it was only in China happening the issue, right? So my husband, Adrian, and I got very sick. I never seen Adrian that sick in my life. It was horrible. So we spent kind of a month sick. We've been getting okay, and then falling sick again. And the trains were all the time late. We had to commute, and that was the time we said we need to move. I mean, I cannot commute 3 hours a day all the time, so we need to move. And that's when we found this apartment. That was at the end of January last year, and we moved in June because we had kind of a notice period to free the old apartment and this one. And yeah, I mean, it's the funny part. So we moved, and since end of February we're working from home. We said with my husband, okay, so we found an apartment because we wanted to avoid commuting. We don't regret it. Our old apartment was fantastic. The neighbors were beyond fantastic, and here it's a fantastic place as well. So we are blessed. No complaints at all. So what I've been knitting, and this is a big bag, so something that I became literally obsessed. It's with hoji bags. I don't know if you know hoji. If you're a vegan, I'm sorry. This is a leather bag. Yeah. So this one, it is, what is called this one? Oh my goodness, how could I forget? Sorry, I will put a note. And I got blind. I don't remember the name of the bag, but it's a huge bag. I have the smaller version, this is the original, and this is the big one for bigger projects. And why I got this one is because I'm making a blanket, and I needed something to where I can carry this from up and down. So I will try to remember the bag name. So here I have my blanket, and you might have seen, if you follow me on Instagram, some pictures or stories that I posted of this. So let me tell you, my new love of yarn is this one. This one is a Nutiden. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's Nutiden. It's a Swedish yarn, and I found it through Mandarins, through Melody, and watching one of her videos in Patreon, and I love this. This is an unspun yarn. I don't know how to explain. So it is, you know, the yarn, when you buy yarn, you can have worsted, woolen, and you can have 2-ply, 1-ply, single ply, 3-ply, all type of plies. And this one is not only non-twisted, it's unspun, literally unspun. So it is, I don't know if you can see it. Can I see it? Yeah. It is an unspun thread. It's single. And of course, you can have this, but it's not an issue. You just can attach and keep knitting. Not an issue at all. So I got this because I learned about this yarn from Mandarin's Melody, and I went and I started following, becoming a patron from Nutiden yarn. And it happened that the week that I became a patron, 2 or 3 days later, I received a message saying that they were having, there was a shop update, the last one of last year, because she works, I don't remember her name, sorry. I don't really, but the person behind of this yarn works with her husband. I don't know if it's her daughter, but they have a mill. They bought a mill. They put the mill up and running, and now they started making this type of yarn. This one is similar to the one in Iceland that you can have. One of Istek, I think it is the brand that makes, but this one is fantastic. And this colorway is called Offerings of Trees. It's kind of a greenish. It has some greens, oranges, and some browns, light browns. And this one is called Oats. So I got 4 colors, Enlightenment, a reddish that I don't remember, but it's related to heart or something, Offering of Trees, and Oats. So I'm making my blanket with that, combining with this silk kit mohair, that it is a discounted yarn that I bought long time ago that I have in my stash, or knit from your stash. So I am combining that two held together, and here it is, my blanket. It is growing, slowly growing. It's just a simple garter stitch, right? So it is, sorry if I'm putting this in front of your camera, but it's huge. It's growing very, very big. And what I'm doing, I started making the garter stitch, and here I am doing some intarsia. is that? Yeah. So here I keep using the offering of trees, and here I have the oats. So let's see how it goes. I don't know if I'm going to start striping from one side. I don't know. Let's see. I'm just playing and knitting while I'm watching films or TV during the evenings. So this is my current project, a simple blanket in garter stitch. I am really enjoying, and since it's cold, we don't want to put the heat too hot upstairs. Upstairs is the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen, and it becomes too hot with the kitchen and everything. So we just turned it a little bit down, and when I'm knitting, if it's cold, I just put this here and I'm perfectly covered. So this is one of the projects that I'm knitting like crazy. I think it's now my only one that I dedicated most of my time. Then I also started, when I received the Lane magazine, this one. This is Portia. This is a shawl. Let me show you. This is the Lane magazine. That is the 10th issue, and I'm making this one. This is Portia, and it's made by Natasha Hornby. And I used to test for her. I don't do it anymore. I mean, I don't have a lot of time. And the last times that I subscribed to testing, I couldn't finish. So I'd just rather not to sign for something that you cannot finish on time. So, but I'm loving it. And I am using, again, this is the red color that I mentioned of the Nutiden yarn. And look at this. Can you see those cables and texture here? I think that is the best color I can. Otherwise, if I put it too close to the camera and the light, it gets kind of orangey. But it's truly reddish, like a Bordeaux color. I'm missing some stitches. Oh my goodness. And this is the yarn, and I'm using it with this one. This is the Isalloni yarn, Silk and Kid Mohair. The color, it is passion fruit. So I'm mixing the both of them, and it's really nice. Since I started making my blanket, to be honest, I just put this on standby, but I will come back. And the last one, and it is a sock. And here again, this is a hoji again bag. This is called Baul, and it's very cool. Let me show you. It is to put it in when you are knitting and you are sitting in the sofa, or you put in your table. You just close it like this. Oh my god. And it's very nice. Of course, it doesn't have a very sturdy leather, but it's okay. When this was full, my blanket was first here, but since it grew much, it's a bigger size, then I'm using this for my socks. So you can put this in your table and it remains there. It's a very nice concept. I have another one in another color that I use for my spinning. So here I'm making again vanilla sock, another vanilla sock. It's easy just to make, and this yarn was one of the yarns that was kind of left from one of the festivals, so I picked and started making. And this is a base MCM. It's superwash merino, cashmere, and nylon. I don't have this yarn anymore. I'm just at the beginning I was using a lot of superwash and yarns with nylon. I think that's when most of the dyers start with, not all of them, but it's easier to dye because the dyes takes very fast with all superwash. With non-superwash, it's a different technique. It's completely different. So this is the yarn. So it's a very saturated color, and it's called purple light, and the color I really like. It's very time consuming to make it, but it is very nice. So I'm making just a plain vanilla sock. I don't know, probably in the toes I will change another color, I will add another color, but it is simple. Yeah, and here in my bowl I have also something that I can show you. It is, this is a bar, how can I say, it's a moisturizer that it's usually for the body, but I use it for my hands because when I'm washing sometimes the dishes, there are some dishes that I don't put into the wash machine and the dish machine, so dishwasher, sorry. Then I put this because it's very nice. I don't know if Lolo Bar is still in business, but I bought this in 2014, long time ago, when I went to Vogue Knitting, and I learned about this brand via the Knit Girls. Yeah, they handmade products for moisturizers, and they had the bars. The bars were the most well known from them, and it smelled really good. And I put this on my hands after washing something. I start knitting, and my blanket smells delicious. It's really good. I don't know if they're still in business, but it is really nice. I put some notes. It's Barmaids barmaids.com was the website, and then I have this, you know this. This is, it's a burst piece. It's just lipstick. Whenever since it's winter, it's getting dry, it's cold, and some teardrops because of the heating. It gets very dry here. So that's what I have. And of course, notions. This is very handy tool that I put here. And yeah, I mean, I think that's what I'm working right now. And I have some projects that I want to make. I want to make a hat. I bought a hat from Knitting for Olive, I think. I want to make a bear hat for my niece and nephew. I got that the other day. Then I want to make the zipper pullover. I don't know if it's the name zipper pullovers, but it's by Petite Knit. I got that as well once I finish my projects. And then what I bought recently, well, I cannot show you everything, but the things that I bought for Christmas, because I really found them through Instagram and I love them. So one of the things is this ceramic mug. It's by Monty Potts that I learned from Molly from the Spawn House blog. I am a patron of hers, so and I found it about Monty Potts. That's a German ceramic manufacturer, handmade, and it is really cool. And I'm knitting it's super minimalistic, simple, and I love it. I got this plus another one that doesn't have this handle. I think it's kind of a cup, more like a mug. Then this one. Oh my goodness. This one, I don't know if I butchered the name, but she's a Swedish illustrator, and her name is Kasia Wallin. That's the name. We can find her as well. Is kasiawallin.se. She's from Sweden. She's an illustrator, and she makes fantastic things. Look at this. This is a plate. Just to put, I don't know if it's your cups, I don't know what's called, thread, I don't know what's called in English, but in Spanish it's bandeja. So you can carry your mugs, you can carry everything. And I bought two because my mom wanted one. Once I couldn't visit my mom last year, I couldn't go to Bolivia, so sad. But I'm collecting everything that I'm buying for her, so whenever, hopefully this year, I can go. So this one is for my mom. They're so beautiful bunnies. Can you see? Then I have this one, and that is Adrian and myself. We're missing Max here, but no. So this is the other. It's so cute. And I bought the calendar. She has a calendar, and I'm pointing there because I will show you another time. The calendar is so beautiful as well. It's I think it's her illustrations or drawings are fantastic. And I bought these gift cards, like tags. I don't know if you see them. So beautiful. And I have many of them. It's very nice and cute. So and yarn related, I got for Christmas from a Hammerspan house. This is one of the bags when I received the yarn. Sorry, I'm just this one. And I am a patron of Molly and the Hammerspan, so I get every month some minis, and I'm happy about it. So let me quickly. Some minis that I bought for Christmas, and then all the projects that I make besides socks. I am not very colorful person. If you've seen me in one of the knitting gatherings that we had in Zurich, or so, I always wear neutral colors, I would say. But in terms of minis, these ones, I love them. Look at the colors. Those are fantastic. So these two were the Christmas collection of 2020. These ones were the colors of the 2020 Christmas collection and mini collection, and this one was kind of the also for Christmas, but her prior colorways, right? So these were the new colorways 2020, and these were the kind of, I wouldn't say vintage, but old colorways. So I got the two of them. I don't know, I'll probably make a blanket. She designed a blanket, which is the comfort blanket, because what she did is, if you saw her last podcast that was brought last week, she made with her advent calendar this year. Well, I never get an advent calendar, and whenever I want to have one, it's too late. Anyway, so she made a blanket with the advent calendar. So every day she kept one of her own, and she made a garter blanket. That's why I inspired the garter blankets. It's easy. So she made, and then she put the pattern online, and she's offering mini sets you can make with, if you have mini sets, you can make this blanket, and I think it could be good. And these are the minis that I receive every month. I started becoming her patron, because before she didn't offer the minis worldwide. She was living in the States, and then she came back. She went back to Germany, and she started offering worldwide. That's why I signed, and I received. These are 10 grams minis. Look at them. This was the October one. This was the November, and this one was the September. So this is the first one that I received. That's the second one, as well, very Christmassy. And this is the November one. More neutral, kind of not Christmassy. Good. So I'm planning to make something with them. And the last thing is to make socks. I made this, I bought this gingerbread house. That was a Christmas colorway that she put. I don't know if it's, there you are. It's so beautiful and so well, those are my acquisitions. I think I am at the end of what I wanted to show you, and I wanted to share, and I don't know how many minutes, 28 minutes since I cut the cut. I suppose in total I will have 40 minutes. I don't want this to be very long. And I wanted to catch up a bit with you. Probably, of course, I didn't tell you everything because I would stay here for a long, long time. I tried to summarize what happened. But I'm happy to be back. I don't know if you've noticed me. I'm so excited and speaking like a parrot, talking like a parrot. And yeah, I don't say how, I don't want to say that how often I will pull a episode. I will try to be consistent. I will try to do. But today it was just like I felt like I want to start recording again. So I hope to bring content and share with you my projects. That's what I want, because again, the isolation of the current situation made me think I really want to talk to someone, or someone talks to me or listen to me, and as well as I can listen to others. So that is it, and I will be sharing other stuff that I've been doing. I'm started journaling. I started spinning. I kind of stopped a bit spinning. I spun a lot of yarn to sell the black nose ship yarn for Isalloni, but that was the plan for last year's festival. It didn't happen, so I still have the yarn, and I'm making stuff out of that. So probably I will show you, I will try to record how I dye, how, I don't know, try to show you small shots or clips of my daily. I mean, my daily is waking up, taking a shower, having breakfast, turn on the computer, start working. Sometimes we go for a walk during lunch, and then that's kind of a routine. So that this recording takes me away of the routine that it was installed here, and because of the situation. And I would like to share what I'm doing. Probably when, I mean, we live in a very beautiful place. Probably I can show you also the views on what we do. I started gardening as well. That's what I didn't tell you. In summer, we came here to this apartment in summer, so the prior tenant left some raised beds where you could do kind of a square gardening. And for me that was fantastic. So I put some tomatoes, I put some herbs, lettuces, but I had those slugs that were eating my lettuces. I was driving me crazy. Then I put it rocket and some other salads, and my plan for this year is to put more stuff. I do have kind of a bag that is for a square gardening as well. It is 9 by 3 by 3, so I could have 9 crops. So that's also I would like to share with you. I will start my preps in February. February is when you start doing, and yeah, I want to show you and share, and I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy. I hope you, and thank you for the ones who stuck here and probably waiting for me to come back. The first time that I tried doing this, I recorded in Spanish as well. I was trying to do the same episode in Spanish. I don't know if I will be doing it, or probably, I don't know. So I will go with the flow, and what comes, it comes. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you come along with me. So it was nice. Have a lovely weekend. I didn't say what day it is. Today is Saturday, the 16th of January. And yeah, so the light is starting to get out. So I have a light here. As you can see, it's flashing on my nose. And I will try to say I have a bit of a new equipment. I mentioned that I'm using my husband's equipment. He started doing some videos as well in YouTube, but mostly for his company. And that's why also I wanted to try his new stuff, so to see how it goes. I think it has a better focus, this camera, than the one. And if you wonder what I'm using, this is not a sponsor, and at all, nothing that I'm showing you is a sponsor, and I don't want to. I find that it's very nice. This new camera is super handy. If I want to do a vlog, I will probably use. So this is the camera. So it's DJI Pocket 2. That's it. And yeah, so welcome back. I'm happy to be back. And take care, stay safe. You know, that's the things that we have to look after ourselves, and stay healthy. And see you next time.